Hey folks, Travis Scott here, the Mortgage Brewer, coming to you with another brew video. Today I'm going to be making a English porter, and this is actually a kit from More Beer. Sometimes I don't feel like putting together the recipe, and sometimes I just like to buy a kit. So I went onto their website. I paid for it out of my own money. They didn't sponsor this or anything like that, and I've been wanting to make a porter so I can try it on the beer engine. And read through their description, and it was a very affordable price. So I picked up their 5-gallon all-grain batch recipe for an English porter, and that's what we're going to brew today. So there's a laundry list of grains here. I'm going to have that all in the description below, so you can check out that if you want to remake this yourself. But for the hops, we're using Northern Brewer at 60 minutes, an ounce of that, and then an ounce of Cascade hops at 5 minutes left in the boil. Pretty simple hop charge schedule there. I do have brewing salts. Again, I'm starting with reverse osmosis water, so I'll put that the salts in the description as well for you. For the yeast, I am trying something new. I am using Cellar Science English yeast. I've never used it before, and it was on their website, and it was one of the dry yeasts recommended for this recipe. So I'm going to give it a shot. I've never used Cellar Science before, so I'm excited to see what they have to offer with that. So join me as I go through this brew day with you, and we'll enjoy the tasting at the end off the beer engine.
This is one of my favorite shots here, just a very mesmerizing shot of the water getting filled up in the bowl kettle. Again, here's the English yeast that I'm using from Cellar Science, along with the Northern Brewer and Cascade hops from Artisan. We're coming up to strike temperature here, and the water is recirculating, so it is getting heated evenly throughout the entire bowl kettle there, coming out the spray nozzle at the top. My settings are pretty low on the grain mill, so I can get a very fine crush, and using the basket from the Clawhammer system, I've never had a stuck mash. It's a very, very fine mesh steel basket, so I can get pretty good efficiency out of that. Adding the brewing salts here, again, I'll have those listed in the description below. With this 20-gallon system, I went ahead and added the entire grain bill before I started stirring. But there's no problem. There's so much room there when you're doing a 5-gallon batch that you can mix everything very nicely, make sure it's all saturated, there's no dough balls. When I do bigger beers, of course, I'll do them in stages when I'm mixing in, but for this batch, it was just fine doing it all at once. And we're starting the recirculation of the mash, so it's coming out the bottom there, going through the pump, and going over the top through the spray nozzle to make sure everything is recirculating nicely. During the mash, I like to give a few stirs just to make sure everything gets mixed up very well. You can start to see that color, that really dark amber color coming through the porter recipe. It's just, the smell was amazing. It takes about 10 minutes for the wort to drain out of the basket, and while that's happening, I'm heating up the wort to about 190, and then we'll kick it off and go to a boil when we add the hops. And here is that first hop charge. I didn't record the second one, but we have the first hop charge here, and it goes into the hop spider there. Sanitizing the plate chiller, so while it's still boiling, I'm recirculating through, sending it back through the whirlpool arm, and that is sanitizing the plate chiller.
All right, hit all my numbers today, which is nice. We should end up with a beer probably around 5.1, 5.2%. Should be about 30 or 33 IBUs, so right on target for a British London porter. What I'm doing here, you can see, is put my hop basket on top of the stand here to drain it out, and then inside I am whirlpooling as it's chilling down. So Should have a nice cone of all the debris and trub and all that kind of stuff, so it'll go cleanly into the fermenter.
Well, it is tasting day, and it is a perfectly misty day here in North Texas. So how fitting to be drinking the English Porter on a gray cast day here. We're watching a little English Premier Soccer, so go Spurs. But here it is. This is it right here. This beautiful caramel colored English Porter. There is no roast in this one. It is straight malt heavy. A beautiful smell, definitely characteristic of a traditional English porter. Yeah, great caramel, lots of malt forward notes there in the smell. As far as the taste, there's a hint of some of the chocolate malt on the back of the palate that comes in late, but very, very sweet. Well, sweet's not the right word. Very caramely, very malty. I know I say that a lot, but it's true for a lot of British beers. Again, this one here you could drink all day long, 4.3%, about 30 on the IBUs, so not bitter. It balances out that malt character very, very nicely. I would highly recommend brewing this one for more beer. Again, the kit's link to the kit is in the description. Please check it out. Have yourself a nice English style porter. Cheers.